3, 2, 1.
Whoa! Your motorcycle helmet is an important piece of equipment. Not only does it keep your squishy brain protected from all those impacts on the road, it'll also keep the debris out of your eyes, it quiets down the road noise, and also, it makes a pretty big fashion statement. Motorcycle helmets come in a lot of shapes and sizes and have stickers and features that make you feel like you need a decoder ring to pick the right one. Well, today we're going to take a look at everything you need to know to buy the right motorcycle helmet. We'll be looking at the styles of motorcycle helmets. We're also going to be looking at the fit and how to get yourself fitted up at home. We're also going to be looking at the different certifications on these helmets, like what all these stickers mean in the back over here. We're also going to be taking a look at some helmet myths, like what actually is going to kill a motorcycle helmet. And most important of all, we're going to be looking at price to safety ratios to see if you actually do get a safer helmet when you spend more. If you like any of the helmets featured in today's video, remember we sell them over on shop.yamanee.co, where every dollar you spend is an entry to win one of our giveaway motorcycles. And let's start off with one of the most important pieces, and that's style.
Now, when we talk about style for your helmet, we're not talking about graphics or the fashionability of the helmet. We're talking about what the helmet was designed to do. There's a whole bunch of different helmets for a bunch of different applications, and we are going to start with street sport helmets. On the right-hand side here, we have a Shoei RF1200. This thing is your standard track day lid. Over here, we have a Nolan N87. This is a motorcycle helmet that you're going to see a lot of times on the street. There are some key differences here, even though they look very similar. On the track day helmet, this thing is lighter because it doesn't have a lot of features. Very few vents on this motorcycle helmet as well. A very tight neck roll. This thing is designed for impacts at the track, versus this, which is designed for impacts on the street. You have a lot more features in this helmet too. It's got a drop-down sun visor, also a lot of different vent schemes on here. This thing is much more applicable for a street rider, but you can take it to the track and have some fun with it.
Next up is ADV, dual sport, and modular helmets. Let's start with ADV helmets. They're usually characterized by this beak over here that's to help with sun glare. Typically you'll see them with goggles or a visor. This is my XD4 with a set of goggles on it. And actually these helmets flow a ton of air. They can withstand crashes on the street, and overall they're a great choice if you're going to spend a lot of time doing slower technical speed stuff. Modular helmets, on the other hand, are for those of you who want to drink big gulps while you ride. So you can actually move this right here, flip it up, and you get a helmet that's actually going to be flipped up right there. You can actually eat snacks and go riding on your motorcycle. It's very popular with gold wing dads and those sort of things. Now, this helmet as well here, a lot of people think that because it flips up, you're sacrificing for impact protection on the chin. That's not necessarily true. The only thing that's going to happen with these helmets is you're going to pay a weight penalty and a bit of a price penalty as well.
Finishing out our list of helmet styles, we have 3/4 helmets and MX helmets. 3/4 and half helmets, I highly recommend you give these a miss. They don't have a chin bar, they flow a ton of air as a result, and half helmets don't have anything in the back, so your neck breathes. The only problem is, unless you crash like this, you're probably going to go down in some fashion like that, meaning that you are going to get some lovely cut-priced asphalt dermabrasion on your face. If that sounds like fun to you, you gotta go talk to a therapist or something. You do not want to wear one of these. They're not very safe, even though they might have a DOT or an ECE sticker. On the other end, we have an MX helmet. This thing right here, it's designed for you to use off-road, and even though it looks like a dual sport or an ADV lid, it's not. It's a very different animal. It's lighter. It doesn't come with a visor. It doesn't have street certifications. And if you wear one of these things on the street, they are loud as hell. In some cases, you will find an MX lid that has a street cousin, just like this MX5 from Bell. This is not the same helmet. This is designed for off-road use only, not on the street. The next thing you need to consider when buying a helmet are the stickers that it comes with. These stickers are not your graphics or whatever. We're talking about these certification stickers on the back. There are a whole bunch that you need to consider when purchasing your helmet. And the first one we're going to talk about is DOT. DOT is from the good old US of A, and it's about 30 years out of date. A lot of things changed in 30 years, including helmet design. This helmet right here is what was inside the Predator helmet. And after I rode this thing around on the street, I can say that I would not want to crash on this, and it has a DOT rating on there. Why? Because DOT only requires that you self-certify your helmet, or you just lie on a form that says, yeah,
Safe? Sure.
Moving on to somebody who actually cares about the survival of their constituents, the ECE, or the Economic Commission of Europe. That is going to be the sticker that you must see on your helmet. It is the bare minimum in our opinion, and it represents a helmet that has been safety tested by people who actually care. Moving on, we have the Snell Memorial Foundation. This is a track day specific certification. You're going to see it on a lot of track day helmets, and the Snell Memorial is completely voluntary. This is not something that you're going to see on a lot of helmets because ECE tends to be good enough. You're also not going to see ECE and Snell on the same helmet because they're testing for different things. Snell favors impact protection for one big bonk, whereas the ECE wants to see multiple smaller impacts all protected for.
The last two we're looking at today are FIM and SHARP certifications. FIM is short for the Fédération Internationale de Motorcyclisme. We don't know what language that is, but it does sound pretty, doesn't it? Now that's actually the body that's testing helmets for racing like in MotoGP, and we like to think that this is the gold standard. They, in theory, have the most modern rigs and standards that are keeping some of the most highly paid athletes in the world safe, so we think that this is the best standard for motorcycle helmets. And SHARP is basically the UK's DOT, but with a little bit more teeth, but since we don't have them here in the States, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Now, all the safety certs in the world aren't going to mean a damn thing. You could go pop Marquez's helmet off his Bonds, put it on yours, and crash. If the fit is not right, it is not going to work for you. Describe a good fit for the folks at home.
So, on a good fit on a motorcycle helmet, you don't want it too loose and you don't want it too tight. If you put a helmet on, you got pressure points in your temples and the back of your head, that's a bad fit. It's gonna make it uncomfortable, it's not gonna work right. Conversely, if your helmet is way too loose, it might fall off your head whenever you're riding and have an impact, and that's obviously not what you want for a motorcycle helmet. You don't want your head looking like a raspberry after a crash. I've seen it in a race event, not pretty.
Yeah, no, it's nasty stuff. And we have our vlogging helmets here. We brought them out so we could actually show you. I wear this thing every single day of the week, and it still squeezes my noggin. My cheeks are pretty smushed in like this. That's actually a good thing. You don't want any wiggle room in your helmet. Now, let's talk about sizing. If you are buying your helmet at home on the internet, you need to think about your size. First things first, what is the shape of your head? Do you know the 3 head shapes for helmets?
I believe it's oval, intermediate oval, and round.
Yes, those are the 3 types. 3 points for you. So you need to make sure that you have a helmet that fits your head shape. If you have a buddy, just have them look at the top of your head. They'll be able to tell you whether or not you got a basketball, football, or a rugby ball shaped noodle. It's really that simple. What is the shape of your head? Moving on from there, we're actually going to show you how to measure up yourself using Arai's own scale. Now guys, before we dive into actually measuring up, I do want to shout out the fact that we have a whole bunch of Arai helmets newly in stock on shop.yammynoob.co. Click that link down below and get yourself a really nice helmet, something that we stand by here on the channel. But if you don't want to get yourself a big, fancy, super expensive helmet, we do have a whole bunch of more beginner-friendly budget options, all the way down to one that costs only $110, but comes with all of the certifications that you would want to see. Now, I actually have in my hand here a tape measure with Arai's size chart on it. I actually don't know where this came from. I found it in the shop. You don't need something specific to measure your head. You can even do it with a piece of string. All you have to do is take the tape measure out, wrap it around your head, and a bunch of manufacturers are going to want you to do it in different places. But for an Arai, they want it right around your brow. All you do, get that nice wrap, and then see how long it is. Me, I am at 59 centimeters around, which puts me handy dandy size chart in a large. All right, guys, one caveat I wanted to mention. Obviously, we are selling helmets down below on shop.yammynoob.co, but I do highly recommend, if you are going to buy a helmet online and you have not fitted yourself up, go to a shop and hold the helmet in your hands. Put it on your head and feel how it feels in person. We don't want to sell you a helmet that's not going to fit you properly. So if you have any questions, go ahead, go into a store and check it out before buying online from us or from anywhere else. We want to make sure that you guys are safe, and the helmet is the paramount way to keep yourself safe on a motorcycle. Please do not wear the wrong size helmet, even if it's to support us.
Last up today, we were talking myths about motorcycle helmets, and the big one we see is price as it correlates to safety. Now, a lot of folks see a $100 helmet and a $700 helmet, and they're gonna think the $700 helmet is 7 times as good as the $100 helmet. Now, that's not necessarily true. The most important thing you wanna see, this helmet, for example, costs $110, and it's got a DOT and an ECE sticker, meaning this is gonna be plenty to keep you safe on the road. On the other hand, this Arai over here, my personal Haga Corsair X, retails for $1,000. So after taxes, a $1,080 helmet. So is it 10 times as good as that helmet over there? Not exactly. It just has a really flashy paint job, some really nice features for airflow, and a really nice interior. After a certain point with helmets, you're really just paying for niceties and features on those helmets. This helmet over here, as long as it's got the stickers, can keep you perfectly safe.
The last myth I wanted to talk about today, guys, is dropping your helmet. I bet you a bunch of people out there have dropped their helmets and thought, oh no, I need to run out and buy a brand new one because it's broken. Chances are you haven't heard it. In fact, I'm going to drop this helmet live on camera right for you. In 3, 2, 1. Now, obviously the horns that we put on this helmet came right off, but everything else still works. The drop-down visor still works. The visor latches still work. Everything in this helmet is completely fine. The reality is, as long as you don't crack the outer shell of your helmet, or you don't drop the helmet with something inside that can compress the EPS foam, dropping your helmet from 5 or 6 feet is not going to kill it. Yes, it will scuff it up. Yes, it is going to hurt your helmet if you drop it a whole bunch, but you're not going to instantly need to go buy a brand new one if you accidentally drop it off the tail of your motorcycle.
All right, folks, no matter what you ride, whether you're an off-road boy or a track rat, make sure you get a helmet that fits you and is gonna be safe. Remember, we got a bunch of selection over on shop.yammynoob.co. Spite, you're not gonna wear that, right? Come on.
Yeah, no, it's feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty safe in this.
This guy learned nothing in this video. He wrote the script and he learned nothing. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. You look so ridiculous.
I love it, dude. $200, well spent.
$200. This was $110. Keep watching Yammy Noob!